Zone from the latest EP by Toeknee Tee, who joins us this evening on The Vibe. Tony, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Not too bad, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you tonight. The first ever artist to create his own app. I
That's
mean,
right. That's right.
I don't think it gets any more dope than that.
Hey, I'm trying to roll with it. I know it was a big feat when I started, but I see the bigger picture, so it was worth it.
Well, I'm quite keen to jump straight into it because I think this is really, really interesting.
Hmm.
We, as listeners, fans, we just consume the music. We take it all in.
Yeah,
We love it. We love our 3 minutes, our 4 minutes. 5 minutes can sometimes be a bit of a push, but we can handle that every now and again.
sure.
But that actually isn't quite reflective of what goes into creating the song and the whole
Exactly.
project without it. So I want us to go into talking about the app itself, but
Sure.
how did you get to this point? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
So, for some time, I've been thinking the system that we have now it's set up for popularity. I get it. But like popularity doesn't always mean funds. They say 1,000 followers doesn't mean $1,000. So not to chase the money, but to chase the principle of the matter, I said, how can I make this a fair system for the artist? How can I be paid? How can I be paid more fairly for the time and effort that I put into it? So websites are kind of dead. I made a website just because, but then at the end of it, I did some research and it was like, yo, most people are on apps. So I did the app research and I said, this is the future. I got to make it happen.
So normally when artists create their music, they'll probably put it out on platforms such as Spotify
Yeah. Yeah.
or Apple Music or other platforms as well. How
Sure.
does having your own app differ from that or complement those platforms that are already out there?
I like the way you put it by compliment because it helps the artists in a sense monetize it the way they see fit. See, the way the system's set up now, for every 1,000 people or every 1,000 plays you get on your song, Spotify wants to give you £1. YouTube less than that. But that's their rules. You got to play by their rules. It has to be packaged their way. The way my app differs is I set the price on what I think my art is worth. Now, I can also monetize it the long way with subscription services, just like Spotify and Apple Music. And so it's not just a one-off kind of thing. I can kind of form a better connection with my fans this way who really want to support.
So this is really interesting to me also because as an artist, my assumption is that you probably just want to focus on the music. You want to focus on the art, you want to focus on the craft. And as I mentioned earlier, independent artists now are having to have so many different hats. You've got
Yeah.
to be PR, you've got to do marketing, you've got to be on top of your socials. Like
Yeah.
there's everything that encompasses what being an independent artist means now. So when you decided to create an app, was that like an added thing that you thought, yes, this is what I want to do? Or was it like, oh,
No.
this is a burden?
So I do mechatronics engineering right now, and I chose that particular field because I don't like programming. It was engineering with the least amount of programming. But then when it came to this app, I was like, oh, I can't pay nobody to do it. I got to do it. I'm the kind of person where, whatever I do, I got to do it at least once just to see how the flow goes. But towards the middle of it, I thought, I started thinking about other artists, and I said, I'm glad I taught myself this skill because I can do this for other artists and I can kind of usher in a new wave. So I started enjoying the programming towards the end of it.
How long did it take?
It took me 7 months. So I started in November and last November, and I was done like a little bit before the 1st of June with the iOS because it's iOS and Android. So I was done with the Apple version at the 1st of June. The Android version was done a little bit after that, but then once you get done with the actual app development, you got to deal with the Play stores and the app stores and their mess. So a couple extra time.
How would you say this would have an impact on the music industry as a whole, especially when you've got the major platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music,
Yeah.
YouTube? How would this impact that in the future? Because I'm assuming other artists are going to want to jump on this as well.
I know other artists are going to want to jump on it, but when it comes to Spotify and Apple Music, it's going to shake up the industry a little bit. But I think in a positive way because Spotify and Apple Music, they're not going anywhere. But those platforms, they benefit people like your Taylor Swift, your Drake, your Nicki Minaj, who also could benefit from an app. But you really need millions of streams to live off of your streams. And so when it comes to the whole industry, I think independent artists with this, they'll be able to eat better instead of having to wait for shows because a lot of them don't even perform. So it's like a negative.
So you've obviously been in this game a long time. You've been creating lots of music. What advice would you give to up and coming independent artists who, for them, they do want to, maintain that creative control, but also want to be able to make a living out of making music? What would your words to them be?
I would say to expand your horizons, look for other things that could maybe not performing, but maybe something around it. Like I do a lot of engineering work. And so, sound engineering. So yeah, look for other things that deal with music that you appreciate, and you won't always have to rely on the stage because as we see now, the stage won't always be there.
Very, very true. All right, well, you're obviously an artist. Let's talk music. You've got a brand new EP. Tell us about the project and kind of your thinking behind this body of work.
So it's a little bit morbid because yeah. So all right, I made the song. I made one song, "Language of a Hater," like some time ago with my partner Bart. So shout out Bart. But then I also got some fresh sounds. It's kind of like a culmination. I wanted to wait until the app was done to release it. I haven't released any music all year, so that was bittersweet. But the morbid part comes because like midway through making this, I had a burglary in my studio.
Oh,
yeah. And so like, but they were nice enough to leave me with my speakers. They got everything else.
Oh, well,
so
thank you for that.
Yeah, so that's why I called it back to the basics because I'm in the basics of my equipment, but I kind of, after not putting out music for a year, I wanted to kind of get back to that same hunger and grind I used to have and just kind of get after it. So it all kind of fit.
I love that. Well, we're going to press play on another one of your singles from the album. You're coming back to Leicester in November, aren't you?
I am. We should be coming in a few weeks here. We're looking for a new venue, but we're going to get some things popping for the local artists. We love putting a showcase on.
Brilliant, brilliant. All right. Well, I would love for you to introduce for us your other single from your EP. It's called Rotations. In fact, before you do that, tell us where we can find you and connect with you, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to hit up Toeknee Tee and find out more about this app and how they can get involved.
Yo, you can hit your boy on the gram. I'm there still for now. So I'll figure that out. But I spell my name anatomically. So toe like on your foot and knee like on your kneecap, but one word together. And T. When you put that together, you'll see your boy.
We'll find you. Brilliant. Introduce for us your latest single, Rotations.
Yo, this is my jam, Rotations. This for all the strip club freaks out there. Everybody in Atlanta shaking it, getting busy in the mirror, whatever you do, twerk that thing, shawty.
Wow. I think I will include myself in that category as well. Thanks, hey. Tony.
Sure.
Roll that thing just like a swish, baby. Hey, roll that thing just like a swish, baby.
Hey, girl. Hey.